And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the Rex April Madness Playoffs, day number 1 to our second series. We just wrapped up with Hero versus Down, and now we have returned with Clem versus Rogue. Here we go. We have our second series. We have our TvZ, and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Ultra Love, we have the French Terran player, the blue Terran representing Team Liquid. It is Clem. The favorite player to win the entire tournament, and spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Zerg player, the red Zerg representing Team Falcons. It is Rogue. And you know what time it is? It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series in the chat. Best of luck as we jump into our second best of 5 of the broadcast. As a reminder, these are best of 5s, not best of 3s. And of course, this is single elimination. It's one and done here for our two players as we enter a bit of a rematch, a bit of a historic rematch, in a sense. We have seen these two face off since then, of course, since Stars Zagor, I mean, where Rogue did kind of showcase his own unique style, and Rogue has been committing to that style. If you've been watching Rogue versus Beyond in recent times, or Rogue just in general in ZVT, his go-to, his mantra is still the same. It does feel like for the most part, the goal for Rogue is to be defensive, whether it's with Roach-based openers or not, to fortify himself on 3, 4, and 5 bases, to get into Lurker tech, and then to go into Lurker Nidus play, to just maxed out mass Lurker Nidus play. Does seem to be Rogue's go-to. Not saying he'll do that every game, but I'm saying he'll do that most games. It just seems to be his preferred style here in this matchup. We'll see if he can get there. Likewise, Clem is a very aggressive player. Very often we see 1-1-1s, we see 2-1-1s, 362-on-1s. We do often see a more aggressive build, especially on a smaller map like Ultra Love. I do favor Clem in his ability to break a defending player before they can really fortify themselves, before they can really stabilize. So we'll see if Rogue can survive the aggression of Clem. Now, Clem is moving out. Yo, shout out to StarCraft in the chat to see no screen result, as we do have a bit of a pause. Hopefully everything's okay. Looks like there is a bit of a hotkey bug, but all good. Again, we are settling in. So far, no major signs here. It is going to be racks into factories. Standard opener here by Clem. But yeah, it looks like, I'm assuming the hotkey bug is just that sometimes your hotkeys reset, so you have to just reapply them. It happens. So we'll just allow Clem to fix up his hotkeys before jumping back in.
Game resumed.
Here we go. Here we are back. Yeah, the first Reaper has arrived, dancing with the army. Oh, dancing with the Lings. No major pickups yet. Lings, they take a lot of hits. Oh, we do see Rogue does make an extra pair of Lings, going up to 6 instead of just 4. And one Ling does go down. Then he gets one, does pull away. Behind this, going for a third CC before Starport. Economic build here out of Clem. And we'll see if he goes for a second Rax before Starport as well. Keep an eye on him. Say Rex. It's Clem, he does break in, does pull away. And there it is. So it's going to be 3CC 1-1-1 out of Clem. Getting ready for an add-on swap, getting ready for a tech lab into Banshee play. Okay, so very safe, very economic and very safe play out of Clem. I did mention earlier how he is known for aggression and known for being in the face of his opponents. And that may be the case, but so far, not in this game, as he is opening up as economically and as safe as you can. So Clem is testing the waters. Does test the waters. There's that tech lab on that Rax. Again, we expect an add-on swap. We'll see if that's going to be the case. Otherwise, we could just leave the tech lab on the Rax and go for a Viking opener or even a Liberator. Well, there's the swap, and there are the Banshees. So initially, it's going to be Cloak Banshee here, or just Banshee play by Clem. Hellions moving out. Cloak is being researched. And Rogue here will attempt the Overlord Scout. Does head into the main. And he will confirm the 1-1-1. Does confirm the researching tag lab. So now he knows it is going to be Cloak. He's fully aware. Rogue is aware. Behind us, Tumor goes down. They're basically getting saturated. Rogue is keeping up with the Hellions for the time being. He's keeping up. As Rogue does go lair first, so it is going to be a lair opener out of Rogue. This typically leads into a Baneliness. Is going to be delayed 1/1 upgrades out of our Zerg player. Just safer play out of Rogue. Hellions threatening a dive. So far, Rogue is keeping up. There's 3 queens here at the third base, likewise 2 queens in between the bases. Is maintaining himself. As Hellions, they threaten a dive. They don't find a way in. See Clem looking for the opportunity. Looking for his moment. Likewise, Banshee does poke in between the bases. Gets 1 drone. 1 drone goes down. Doesn't get much more than that. So far, second Banshee rallies into the army. Misrally there by Clem. We gotta tighten things up here. We always spoke about that layer opener. It is going to be double Evo chamber. We have the Baneliness on the way as well. The side of Rogue is opening up Ling Bane. Clem is aware. So he didn't see any Roach Warren. Let's see any Roaches, I should say. Behind this, Clem getting into his 5-act setup, securing his 3rd base, getting it fully saturated. Banshee's here to defend, Lings they do step in, but Clem is at home to defend. Clem is already in position. He will roast up those Lings. At the same time, Clem is able to get some damage done across the map. So far, good value. 3 drones, 8 Lings, 1 Overlord. Good pick up so far. Meanwhile, Clem is just macroing up, getting into a longer game state. Meanwhile, so is Rogue. No surprise here, Rogue is going for the Hydrogen. We did mention at the start of the game how Rogue, his win condition typically in ZVT is to defend, is to survive until Lurker Tech. Usually his go-to. And does move out. Now he stims in. Going for the expansion, he will deny the 5th. Oh, that's a kill! That's a kill, not a cancel. Massive pickoff already. Ay. Takes down the active tumors. And already a strong start here for Clem. Even supply blocking Rogue. Going for the queens. Barely doesn't get them. Gets 1. Yeah, 1 queen. Kills the expansion. Tumors. Overlord. Ay. Failing run by doesn't get much done. My likewise runs into Marines. And Rogue, he's bleeding out too much too quickly here. That was a lot of Banelings going down. Another queen gets sniped. Hatchery's under fire. Rogue is being kept busy. Another Baneling run by, runs into the army, runs into the reinforcements. And she's there back off. Drop into the Bane. Couple of Marines finally go down. I believe those are, the first units falling, 6 Marine kills, and 2 depots. That's about Clem. He is dictating the pace of the game. And here comes the main push. Clem, he's been achieving all of this with just harassment, with just, some drop play, with just some Hellions, some Banshees. But now here comes the main push. This is Clem's moment. He's up in supply, up in army. We're trying to keep up. He's got his 1/1 upgrades. There's that Lurker Den. Again, the win condition there for Rogue is to try to survive until Lurkers. Can he get there? Say win condition. That's his first goal, I should say. As Rogue, he runs into reinforcements. Banelings morphing in. Enemy's pushing onto creep. Likewise, Lings 8 busts into the mineral line. 10 SCV is going to be going down. Nice damage. Rogue, he tries to commit in. Oh, it does connect. Not bad. Yeah, no splits there from Clem. Banelings, they do connect with the bio. And Rogue holds. Rogue is holding. 14 SCV kills, likewise dropping the main base gets cleaned up as well. And again, Clem, he took a really rough fight here with those mainlings. And Rogue, he's pulling it off. Remember, what's his goal? His goal is to survive until Lurker Tech. Lurker Den is about to finish up, and once he can build up those Lurkers, he can slow the game down. Rogue, he's almost there. Still needs a little bit more time. That's Clem going for the 5th for a second time. Should force a cancel. Cancellation, meanwhile, miss rally here to Clem. Miss rally in. Meanwhile, 2 queens get picked up. Clem is still trying to be active. Again, rallying out. Rogue, the first set of lurkers, they have morphed in, but they're not quite in position. Clem still has an opening. Oh, moving forward. Lings aiming for this round. Oh my god. It shuts down the bio. Very nice cleanup here by Rogue. And Rogue, he's done it. He's done it. He has held. He's made it to Lunker Tech. The Lunkers are here. It's crazy. Back those lurkers on our hand side as well. And Rogue, he's slowing the game down. He's maxing out. And now it's time. Now it's time to push. As Clem now has to be the defender. And Clem, he's not ready for this. Half his army's across the map. Lings, they flood in. And Clem, he's in danger here. With mine connections, but lurkers, they zone the army away. And this 3rd base, it's vulnerable. It's exposed. It's going to go down. Clem going for a counterattack. He has potential for damage. Factory goes down. CC is on fire. Then we will kill the expansion. Snipe the base. Meanwhile, lurkers, they still trade well against the army. Oh god, they shut down most of those ghosts. Not the cleanest trade here from Rogue, but I mean, Rogue, he still holds. Still maintains those lurkers. And GG gets called. Clem has nothing left, and Rogue, he will take game number 1. Whew, GG. Rogue, he will survive the aggression. He will survive until Lurker Tech, and from there he snowballs out of control. Again, Clem, he did have some rough fights, is what I will say. He had some nice pickoffs early on, but coming in towards the mid game, he did have some rough fights, and with that, he was unable to break Rogue or unable to punish him for taking into Lurkers. GG. GG well played. Rogue, he will take a lead in the series, and we'll see if Clem can bounce back. I'm sure he can, but we'll see what map we load into. That's what I'm most curious about myself. Checking some of the vetoes here. Game 2 is going to be on Amygdala. Okay. Amygdala, known for being the largest map in this tournament map pool. So a very large map. Long rush distance by ground. I would say Rogue is going to be more comfortable here. It's going to be a lot more comfortable on Amygdala, even more so than Ultra Love. Oh boy. Here we go. And again, something that shocked me, and I was trying to emphasize it myself, was how passive Clem was playing. I say passive, how standard he was playing. I was emphasizing earlier how Clem is known for these more aggressive builds, especially on smaller maps. We did not get that on Ultra Love. There was a missed opportunity, I feel, and now we're leading into the largest map. Here we go, and spawning in the right hand corner of Amygdala, we have the French Terran player, the blue Terran for Team Liquid, Clem. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner, we have the South Korean Zerg player, the red Zerg for Team Falcons. It is Rogue. We go. Now, again, my biggest concern here for Clem is that I feel like a smaller map like Ultra Love was prime for a more aggressive style, for a 1-1-1 or for a 2-1-1 or a 3cc 2-1-1, something more active, something more aggressive. Here on Amygdala, it is the largest map in this tournament map pool. It is smaller than Neon Violet Square, King's Cove, and Abyssal Reef, but those 3 maps that I mentioned are not a part of this tournament. Amygdala is. Again, the rush system background is long. Likewise, the attack paths are very limited. You can attack towards the south side or towards the north side, so very limited attack paths here on Amygdala. That makes it easier to rotate, easier to defend, as being the defending player specifically, makes it harder to rotate as the aggressing player, I should emphasize. So we'll see how Clem will approach this map. Now, something we've seen quite often from players like Bunny, players like Clem, players like Björn on Amygdala is going 3cc 2-on-1. Now, the reason why we should expect 3cc 2-on-1 is because it is difficult for Hellions to get much damage done in the early game. The reason for this, as we were alluding to, is it is quite difficult for Hellions to rotate between the 3rd and the 4th base on this map, just because they have to rotate and go all the way back home. So the chances and likelihood and the effectiveness of Hellions on Amygdala are lessened. They're weaker here on this map. So we'll see if Clem does go for the earlier second racks before CC or not. As Rogue is droning, Rogue is saturating, factory is on the way. So far so good. And again, the big tell that we're looking for here is, do we see a second racks before CC? Do we see a starport before CC? Or do we see a command center before anything else after the factory? As Reaper breaks in, confirms the 3rd base, diving into the main. And we have confirmation that is a 3rd command center here before anything else. So this is, once again, 2 games in a row, economic build. Economic build here out of Clem. Once again, I'm a little bit surprised, but this makes the most sense on this map. We mentioned, we were emphasizing earlier just how difficult it is to be aggressive on this map. Oh, 3cc 2-on-1. Okay, let's go. So 3rd CC into a 2-on-1 setup here, into a delayed starport. We're going for an early stim timing. Now, this makes plenty of sense. We mentioned earlier how difficult it is to be aggressive with Hellions. That's why we're only making 4. Only 4 Hellions, then add-on swap into mass marine production with an earlier stim timing. This is a very common build on this map on Amygdala. I was alluding to Björn and Bunny earlier, and Björn and Bunny are also very fond of this build on this map. Very fond of it. There's a curious way that this works here is that we're going to be building up 16 Marines, or technically I believe it's going to be 14 to 15 because of the early Hellions. But regardless, it's going to be massing up 2 medevacs worth of Marines with Stim, and of course we do have the reactor on the factory for an add-on swap here into double medevac production, into that faster Stim timing. Now, the goal here for the Stim timing from Clem is to deny creep and to hunt down overlords and maybe get a queen. But more importantly, apply pressure to the 4th base. And this can lead into a very bio-heavy composition with multiple drops, with more reinforcements. And if Clem can cancel the 4th base, then Clem can snowball out of control. So we're gearing up, we're getting towards that Stim timing. Back at home, Rogue, he's droning. He can freely drone, take a 4th base, saturate his bases, take his gases, work towards, well, it is going to be Lair first. So Lair first out of Rogue, followed by Bane the Nest, Oliva Chamber, Ling Bane. So Ling Bane out of our Zerg player. As the 3rd base gets spotted by the Ling. Ling does confirm. 4th base on the way. And here it comes. Here comes the double drop. Now catching the Overlord. Rogue is now aware. He's aware of the build. There we go, it is going to be 14 Marines. So 14 Marines and 4 Hellions. Oh, my apologies. Sorry, 2 Hellions, not 4. And you will keep the 2 Hellions at the 3rd. Marines are moving out. And ideally, Clem wants to force a cancel on this expansion, but the Queens are in position, and so are the Lings. And Rookie's ready for this. Rookie's ready, he's prepared. He zones Clem away. So far not finding a way in. So annoyed by the Queens once again. Rogue, he's all over this. He's all over Clem. And remember, what is the goal for Rogue? The goal is Lurker Tech. Hydrogen is on the way. We're getting ready for the Lunkers. There's a collapse in the army. Two collapse in. He is saturating. Saturating his bases. We do have the infestation on the way. That's going to be for the Hive Tech. Lurker Den has not been thrown down yet. Ideally, you want to line it up with the Hive so you can start those upgrades. As Clem is going to be moving out with an extra 2 medevacs. Extra double drop of bio. Forcing so far, I mean, this fourth base is becoming more and more difficult to break. More creep is being spread. That means you deny the creep. Deny the tumors. Hive is on the way. There's the Ultra Cavern. Okay, I'm still quite concerned here that Clem, he just hasn't really achieved too much damage so far. He's all over these defensives. Here we go. Reinforcements have arrived. Clem is going to commit. Uh-oh. I just realized he's A-Rexing. Yeah, he's A-Rexing. He's going for the A-Rax. He's going for 3-base all-in. 3 Raxes have concluded. And one way or another, either Clem, he kills Rogue or he dies trying. Rogue, he evacuates instantly. Does evacuate. And I'm worried for Clem. So basically what's happening here is that Clem, he has no gases. He's just now taking them, just now going for a second factory. Looks like Clem is getting ready to transition out of this. But Clem, if he doesn't break his opponent Rogue, he is getting away with the Hive. He's getting away with Lurkers. Pulls away. Does pull away. Yep, now we have the 4th CC on the way in production. There's a late 4th command center for Clem. He does have a maxed out army. He's maxed. Now, it's a very subpar army. It's purely Marine tank. Just pure Marine tank. No Marauders, no Ghost, no nothing. Remember, this initially was a 3-base all-in. That's why there's no finesse here. That's why there's no further tech. Just pure Marine tank. Gas is now being taken. And he sets up. Double drop on the right side. Clem is encroaching one of the bases. Top left is denied. Oh, that was a kill, not a cancel. Meanwhile, Lurkers are revealed. Getting in position. And Master Marine cannot move into this. There's a blinding cloud. Bailey's rolling in. Oh, there's no medevacs. Bio army is going to be cleaned up. And all the Marines go down. It's a rough trade for Clem. Clem, he lost so many Marines there. Meanwhile, Rogue going for a counterattack, trying to catch reinforcements. He runs into a massive army. Bailey's rolling in though. They get some decent connections, nothing major. As the tank does hold the line. Clem, he did race back home for a moment. Rogue is re-expanding. Looking on more Lurkers. And this is getting intense. Now we have extra gases, so now Clem, we can afford Ghosts. Ghost production has begun. 3-3 alongside it. He's getting out of purely Marine tank into Ghosts, into Marauders. Clem, he's getting there. But still on a very, very low SCV count. As Rogue is reaching his final form. Double Nidus. Double Nidus on the way. Getting ready for the Overseers. We've seen this before. Moving in with his main army. Oh, does abduct. Takes out a full medevac. Nice catch. Same time, Marines moving in. Rogue has to respond. Pulls back. Here's our repositioning. We have 9 Overseers on the way. Here come the mass Overseers. Did I say 9? We're going to have how many in total? Going to be 17. 17 Overseers. That's a lot of Overseers. And the goal here is to pop off with Nidus Worms. Like, the Nidus Worms are the kill move here that Rogue is going to be going for. It's going to be on Clem to deny these changelings. That's what them. Oh. Nice abduction. Nice power bomb as well. Just trying to keep up. Again, it's going to be on Clem just Turtle. Now, Clem taking a 5th base from here is going to be difficult. 5th base is now on the way. We'll see if Rogue will allow this to get up and running. So Clem is still repositioning. Lurkers, they move in behind the middle line. They attempt to. That's towards the top side. Clem getting his 5th. He dives in, does abduct, he gets 2 tanks. There's only 5. There we go. I was gonna say that the lurker count is actually quite low. Oh my god. I say pop off. Gets 1. It's 1 lurker, and Nidus Worms are finishing, changes, moving in. Now, once the first Nidus gets up and running, that's when things can very quickly snowball out of control. So important that Clem just stays secure. Stays defending. Overseers moving in. Nidus into the natural, and Nidus into the main. 2 Nidus Worm, 1 Nidus does get picked off. Another Nidus should be as well. Look at the Reaper from the start of the game. Let's go. This Rogue is also being active. 12 more Overlords on the way. Building up. Again, we still just have no opening. But Rogue is mass expanding. He's mass expanding, taking top left, spreading creep as well. He should try to take every base on the map and try to prioritize mining on those fringe bases. Got the backup Evo chambers in the center. Should be for consume. Stuck on those buildings. It's moving in. Swims on the way. Ghost, they shut down some of the lurkers. They get 1, they get 2, they get 3. He threatens a dive, going for the ghost. There are so many ghosts though. 14. Jesus. 14 ghosts here for Clem. Rogue has to retreat. Does go off ground. You know, Nidus. Oh, Nidus did finish. Yeah, Nidus does finish in the main. The lurkers, they pop out, and we spoke about this before. Sometimes 1 Nidus is all it takes. As Lurkers, they take over the main. Oof. Catching up the ghosts. Rogue's main army is pushing in. Hoping to catch his opponent distracted. Lurkers, they evacuate. To evacuate. Rogue, he doesn't commit. I believe he should have a Viper. Yeah, he has one. Does rank one of the tanks, gets the other. He's off both. Gee, that's a lot of changelings. Jesus. Changelings that do get into the bases. They can also try to choke up the ramp. Snipes are popping up. Well, Clem's distracted. More mining denied. Up. He's looking for a dive. Nidus into the main. Well, Clem's distracted. Sando is in, but he's ready. Nidus into the natural. Clem getting ambitious with his base. Nidus trying to say, I felt like they do finish. Now, the natural is not as crucial as the main. We'll get in position. Oh, the ghost though. Ghosts, they do cloak in time. Oh, despite that, so many ghosts go down. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, ghosts are falling left and right. That is brutal, even without detection. At the same time, Rogue is moving in. He's just pulling Clem apart, busting into the mineral line. SCVs go down. GG gets called. Clem is broken. He gets torn apart. And Rogue, he will take a 2-0 lead. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Once again, Clem going for an economic build. Now, as a reminder, this was an economic build into an ARAX, into a 3-base all-in. But Rogue, he was so quick to identify, so quick to just give up on the base, give up on the expansion. He did just back off. He allowed Clem to get it, and Clem from there didn't like what he saw, did transition to a longer game state into gases, into another CC, into ghost production, of course. Unfortunately, he was never able to gain any momentum, never able to really gain any map control. He was just contained. He was just contained, and Rogue had free reign to just mass expand and to mass Nidus as well. GG. GG, well played with that. Rogue is one game away from knocking Clem out of the tournament. Again, I mentioned this before. Clem, he's favored to be a champion. He's favored to make a deep run and potentially win the entire tournament. And now he's one game away from being eliminated. What a mess. One more game and he's out. Oh boy. Oh boy, here we go. The pressure is on, and I'm concerned for Clem here. I'm hoping for an extended series. I'm hoping for a game 4. But this approach that Clem has been going for, at least against Rogue, just has not been working. And here we go. Getting into game number 3. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Persephone, we have the French Terran player, the Blue Terran, representing Team Liquid. Down in the series, we'll see if he can recover, we'll see if he can bounce back. It is Clem. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have bottom left hand corner, we have the South Korean Zerg player, the Red Zerg, representing Team Falcons. It is Rogue. Where were Liberators? Not enough freedom. I mean, Liberators, they wouldn't have changed the outcome of that game. Again, a lot of it came down to the early to mid game. It came down to Rogue gaining map control early on and being able to, with that map control, of course, just put so much pressure on Clem with the non-stop run by his lurkers towards the center, Ling Bane towards the right, and constant Nidus storms into the main or into the natural as well. So it's non-stop just counterattacking, backstabbing, and again, you can see just how comfortable Rogue can be if he can get to that kind of game state. I feel like we've seen that 2 games already, and we'll see if Clem can recover coming into game number 3. Welcome on all to Persephone. Persephone is a bit of a more aggressive map. The rush distance by ground is very direct. It's a very direct rush distance. And we'll see how Clem will approach this. So far, every game in this series is going for an economic opener. He's gone ranks factory into CC. Last game did have a 2-on-1 variation, but alas was not quite able to deny the expansion. Not with the 2-on-1. Did so afterwards. We go so far standard openers. Hatch gas pool, third base going to be on the way. He's setting up for his third. Likewise, our eyes are going to be on Clem. Every game so far, we've seen a 3cc build. Do we see it again for a third time in a row? Meanwhile, Reaper is going to be shut down. No, not quite. Link does full. Reaper poking in. Does get out. Meanwhile, yep, third CC before Starport. Once again, economic build here out of Clem. Rogue he is going to be more comfortable here in the early to mid game. Now, we haven't seen Rogue open Roach yet. This wouldn't be a bad map for it. On some of these smaller maps, it is considered to be safer to open up Roaches, just to be secure coming into a longer game state. Now reactor Hellion. We have another Reaper on the way. Okay. I don't think that's intentional. We'll see. I'm pretty sure that's meant to be a Marine, by the way. But the Reaper is in production. From here, we should be seeing a Tech Lab into an add-on swap. Reaper does pop out. Force with those Hellions. I mean, Reapers, they hold some utility in the early game, that is true. They hold some of it. The second Reaper has arrived. Meanwhile, hey, we spoke about it. This time it is going to be a Roach opener out of Rogue. Again, it makes sense on some of these smaller maps to open up Roaches just to be very safe. I say very safe. This is a hidden Roach Warren behind the mineral line. Oh boy. So far, unscouted. And, I mean, Rogue, he hasn't played Roaches yet this series. There we go, 7 Roaches on the way. Rogue, he's going for the Roach Rush. So far, unscouted. Lings, they bypass the Hellions, they go straight for the mineral lines. What is that home to defend? We have 2 Hellions halfway done. SVs are going to be going down. Clem is not ready for this. There's nothing here. There's one Marine. There's one Marine. SVs are falling. This is brutal damage already. Hellions have denied access into the bases. And Rogue, has he just done it here? I'm not referring to these Lings. I'm referring to what comes next. I'm referring to these Roaches as they go by unscouted. Queens, they do hold the line. See Clem, I mean, he's trading quite well against this, but Clem, he doesn't see what's coming his way. It's an all-in. Rogue, he doesn't drone. Rogue at 39 workers, just mass Ling Roach. Rogue, he sends everything across the map, and Clem, he sees nothing. He now sees some Lings, which is a little bit suspect. He's like, hold up, why are you rallying Lings? Did I miss something? The answer is yes. Yes, he missed everything. As the Roaches, they have arrived. Natural is exposed. Clem, he has to make a choice. Alas, the wall is open. Lings, they flood in. Roaches flood in as well. And I don't think anyone was expecting a 3-0 in either direction. I mean, maybe for Clem, but not in the other way. Not in favor of Rogue. As Rogue gets 16 SCV kills, he has broken the main base. He's wreaking havoc. Hellions had to race back home. And the Hellions can eventually clean up all these Roaches, but the damage has been done. Getting up to 19, 20 SCVs, more Lings flooding in. They slip into the main. Getting more economic damage. Hellions trying to keep up. Have some trying. And Rogue is still rallying. He's still just rallying everything across the map. You could argue that Rogue should maybe stop rallying and just try to consolidate his army. The Wild! Oh my god. Wild connects. Still more SCV kills, still not done. Getting another Hellion and another. Down to one. One Hellion left. Down to zero. Zero Hellions. And Rogue, he has broken Clem. Again, an impressive series, to be fair, out of Rogue. Very impressive. And Clem, uncharacteristically, for the most part, playing economically, right? He was not being hyper-aggressive, was being going for these more economic builds, which allowed Rogue to be so much more comfortable in this entire series. Rogue, he was able to thrive. And Clem, he's fueled by Hopium at the moment. He's fueled by the Hopium. And by some of the Copium as well. As every SCV falls at the natural. The Banshees, I mean, these Banshees, they put in a lot of work. They've got like, what, like 30 kills each? And Rogue, he's following this up. Rogue, he's still not droning, by the way. He could. If Rogue really wanted to, he could just drone. He could just drone, could just saturate. But instead, we're going for Job Lords. We're going for Job Lords. We're going for a Queen support. Queens are moving in. And this is going to be the answer to the Banshees. So they get this round on the Hellion. They get into the mineral lines for a second time. Queens, they drop in. They're going for the Banshees. And GG gets called. Rogue, he will claim the series 3-0, and he will win this series and advance on and knock Clem out of the tournament. GG. Crazy result here. GG, well played. I mean, again, Clem, he came in as one of the heavy favorites. Heavy favorite here to potentially win the entire tournament. But alas, Rogue, he did come out on top here. Again, Clem, he went for economic builds. Every game he went for 3cc openers. Likewise, we did see some 3cc 2-on-1 play, that is true, and we did see an Arax on Amygdala, but we spoke about it. Like, Amygdala was Rogue's map. Like, Amygdala is where Rogue thrives just because it is more defendable. Sure, Rogue, he lost 2 bases, but he was able to stabilize, get into Lurker Tech. Same can be said on Ultra Love, same can be said here as well. I mean, not quite Lurker Tech on Persephone, but he was able to get across the map unscouted time and time again. Clem, he just missed the movements, he missed the rotations, he missed the lings, and he missed the roaches. Clem missed everything. GG, well played. With that, Clem is out and Rogue is in. And let's catch up on the brackets. Exclamation mark B. Exclamation mark B in the chat if you guys don't have to look back yourselves. Here we go. We have Hero. Hero took down Zan, of course, at 3-1, advancing on to the upper semifinals. And Rogue takes down Clem. Rogue takes down Clem 3-0, and Rogue is now going to be going up against Hero in the upper semifinals. Here we go. So they are going to be facing off. Meanwhile, we're getting ready for our next series here. We're going to be going on a break. When we come back, we'll have Bunny and Solar facing off. Oh boy. As they do need some time to conduct their vetoes. Just catching up with the chat. Just catching up. Master Eagle, let's go, Bappy. True. But yes, with that, we're going to be going on a break. And when we come back, we'll have that TvZ, another one with Bunny and Solar. See you soon. Pappy. See you soon.